there, everybody. All right. Hopefully, hey TT, hey Lydia. Hopefully my lighting is better today. Hey Bougie. Um, it looks like it's lighter. And like I said, I was gonna wear white to see if that helps too. So, but it looks much better to me on my end. Hey, Healthy Living with Wendy. Let's see. Good. Do I look lighter? It's not so darkened, with the background. That's what I was worried about. It's still looking dark. Hold on. Nope, that's not what I want. Oh, I tell you what. That's what I want. All right. I just wanted to drop the link in the chat just in case anybody wants to come up. Hey, Happy Life. Did I miss somebody? My Renaissance Grandma here? Yes. Hey, my Renaissance Grandma. So, y'all, today I am going to be talking about how, see, I'm kicking the light, messing it up. How I increased good my credit score. So, a lot of what I did, we talked about last week. So, just in case you weren't here last Friday, I talked about budgeting. So, I talked about how I make sure I include everything in my budget so I don't miss anything. But budgeting wasn't totally the way I did it. By budgeting, I found money that I could throw at debt to pay it off. So I started with, like most people suggest, start with your smallest thing. So I had like a credit card that may have had, actually, no, that wasn't the smallest thing. I actually owed on my cell phones. So you know how you go and upgrade your cell phone and they'll let you set it up where you can walk out the store that day and you just make monthly payments on your cell phones until you get them paid off for like 2 years. That was the first thing I paid off. And I didn't owe that much left on them. It was, I don't know, I think it was less than a couple $100. So that was the first thing I paid off. That, however, did not affect my credit. But what it did do is it freed up some extra money to then apply to the next thing, which was a credit card. So I just applied extra money to it till I got that first credit card paid off. One of the things that's really important when you're dealing with your credit score, and actually hey Lion Crest, and hey Mona, I didn't see you coming here. Before I get into that, I just want to share, hey Urban, I was going to share my screen. Hold on. I'm just going to share it for a second. All right. So, just so you know, I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. This is where my current credit score sits. You see, it says Hygiena. I logged in to Experian. This is my FICO score. As you can see right above it where it says FICO. So this is where, and that's not where it sits on all my reports. I'm in between like 796 and 818, depending on which one of them you pull up. So just so you know, I'm just speaking from what I did to get my credit score this high. So I'm not just pulling this information out of my behind, and I'm not just talking about something I didn't actually do, because I did. Um, but one of the things that I didn't know before that I end up learning is, hey, Cheryl, is that your utilization of your credit is very important. So if when I got credit cards, I never cared about how much I spent on them because they gave me money. I'm gonna go spend it. But that I didn't know that that was impacting my credit score. So if I had a $500 credit card and I spent $490 of it, I'm almost using 100% of my credit. So my utilization is very high. I believe that with your credit score, it's actually, I know what it is because I wrote down some notes. It's 35%, no, 30% or less is what you want to keep your utilization at. So if you have $100 in credit, you don't want to be using more than $30 of it, because once you go above that, it's going to negatively impact your credit score. So that was one of the things that I had to work with, first getting my credit cards down to that amount of utilization and under. And then once I did that, I really don't use my credit cards the way I used to anymore. Now, when I use them, I'm using them for the perks. I'm using them to get cash back or whatever. And when I use them, I have the cash to pay for the item that I want. So even though I might use it to pay for something that's $100, I have $100 in my account to actually buy that thing with cash if I wanted to. So when that bill generates, I just pay it off right away. And that keeps my utilization down. And it also keeps my credit standing good because it shows that I'm paying it back every time I use it. But before I got there, what I did, especially if you have several different, hey, Crafty, hey, Lashes, several different credit cards that you're using month to month or whatever, dwindle that down and try to use those as little as possible. Because I think that a lot of times with credit, we just think this is extra money that we have to use, and it's a loan. It's not your money. So it's going to positively impact if you're using it and paying it off in full and not making those minimum payments every month. Um, and it's nothing wrong with making the minimum payments. Honestly, if you're under the utilization benchmark, so if you're using less than 30% of the credit that you're extended, the downside to that is that you're going to pay interest on that money. Hey, Triple Threat. So my advice is to just don't use it unless you got the money to pay it off. Honestly. But what I did is I started out with the smallest one. I got that all the way down to 0. Then I went to the next one. And I only had at the time one credit card, actually. I had my cell phones that I needed to pay off. I had a credit card and I had a car. And the car wasn't negatively impacting my credit report. But when you start paying off that balance of anything that you have on your credit, paying extra money to it, so bringing that principal balance down quicker, you're going to see that credit score just start jumping, like by several points. I literally, in 2011, me and my husband filed bankruptcy, and from 20, I think we got out of it 2015, I think. So from 2015 until probably 2018 or 19, I concentrated on keep getting my credit score up. So at that time, I just had, after bankruptcy, I had one credit card, I had my car, and I had those cell phones because everything else was taken care of. We paid off in the bankruptcy. So just learning how to be more responsible with that one card that I had at the time is how I kept my credit score jumping. So instead of before, I would just go out and spend money because it was on the credit card. I would only do that if I had cash to pay that card when that bill was due. Not going to get paid and have the cash. I literally had the cash that day I made the purchase. I only made it on that card to get the perks of using that card. So, hey, David, my advice for someone who is trying to, and this is just based on what I personally did. So let me start off by saying I am not a financial coach or a financial specialist of any sort. I'm just sharing what I did and how I was able to get my credit score to jump up, and how I by learning how to do it, I know that it works because I've helped other people do it by giving them the same tips. Get those little things taken care of on your credit report. If you have like small doctor bills, because I know some people have things like that, small credit cards, pay those things down. If you have those small doctor bills, especially if they've been lingering on your credit report for 3 or 4 years, call the place and they'll usually settle for less than what those bills are, just so you can get that off of your report. Because even though they don't hurt your credit like they used to, doctor bills don't. At least they're not supposed to be, because there was some kind of law Congress passed about that, where they would no longer impact the score. Um, it still looks good if they're not on there at all, because it's still what am I trying to say? Like a delinquency on your credit report. So it is um, best to get those things off if you can. Those old cable bills, those old utility bills, things like that that you might have on there. Just call the place up, settle it out, get it off of your credit report, especially if it's something small. Sometimes I think that I know I could be this way. Like, you get petty about it. Like, why this just can't go away? This was from 8 years ago. Because they petty. They just as petty as we are. So they're gonna keep showing it up on there, because if nothing else, it's hurting you. Even if they don't get their money, if nothing else, it's hurting you. So they'll keep having it pop up on there. And hi, East Dad. Hey, fiance. What was I about to say? Oh, because I saw somebody drop the joke in Nightbot. So I did set up Nightbot. I did a test a couple days ago, to make sure it had worked. And if you drop joke in the comment, it will drop a joke. And if you drop frugal, FRUGAL, it will drop your link to your channel. So definitely share your link, and it will drop. If you put frugal in the chat, it will drop it. Fiance, yes, you can negotiate. You can, most places will absolutely negotiate with you, um, to get those taken care of. Some of them will even negotiate with you to where you agree on a figure, and they'll allow you to make payments on it. So it just depends on what it is and who it is. But most places will rather get something than nothing. So you can always try and negotiate. Crafty said the old phone numbers and addresses hurt you as well. You know what? They don't hurt me. I have all my old addresses show up on my credit report. All of them. They all do. I don't have I've only had one phone number as an adult. So that doesn't hurt me. I'm not one of those people who change numbers a lot. But every last one of my addresses is on there, and that's 5 addresses. It does not impact my credit. I've heard somebody say that before, but I'm like, it doesn't impact mine. I don't know why an address would, but I have heard someone say that before. But like I said, it doesn't impact mine. What does impact it more so than any of those things is just having your credit utilization up too high. Also, if you're making late payments on your credit, on anything that's extended in credit. So your car, your house, your credit cards. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. But at this point, I'll look into it though, because I don't know. I don't know. So let me see. I made some notes so I would stay on point of what I was trying to talk about. So most people may not know what percentage of everything is looked at as far as your credit goes. So the largest percent of what impacts your credit score is the payments, making timely payments. So late payments can really they can really hurt your credit score, making a late payment. So that's really important. Even if you're making just the minimum payments, make those payments on time, because that is really important. That's like 35% of your credit score. And of course, like I said, 30% of your credit score is um, your mix of credit. So you want to, I don't want to say you want to, because I think that's where I get kind of I don't really like that part of the credit, how your credit score is what am I trying to say, is affected, is your mix of credit. So the better your mix, the and long as it's in good standing, the best it impacts your credit score in a positive way. So if you have credit cards, which is considered revolving credit, and you have a car, which is an installment paid account, or a house, and you have, I don't know, I'm not even sure. There's several different types of credit that you can have, but that mix of credit, it looks good to lenders when you are going to get things, more so than just because I know a lot of people are told you need a credit card. If you're going to buy a car, you need a credit card because that shows that you can, you have some type of credit. Well, yeah, maybe for buying a car, but when you go buy a house, just having a credit card is sometimes not enough. So you want to have a mix of things because they want to know that you can be responsible with this large sum of money that they are going to lend to you. So you want to, maybe have had, even if you don't have at the time a car payment, have had one to where they can see, oh, you had a car and you were making your payments on time every month for that car. It shows on your credit report as such, and you paid this car off at this time, which was what mine was. I didn't have a car when I bought my house, but I had just paid my car off a couple years before I bought my house, so they could still see that activity on my credit report. And then, of course, I had my credit cards. But you want to have a mix of things, not to go out and get things just to have that on your credit report. But I will tell you that they kind of look at that. They want to see that mix, and that's going to be what impacts that score and makes that score move in a positive direction and go up for you. But definitely, like I said, most importantly, make your payments on time. If you have the capability of doing so, put it on a auto pay. That way you don't forget. Because I ain't gonna lie, I forgot one time on a credit card that all I have go on there is a payment that I pay for a program that I have on my computer. It's like $7. And I thought I set it up on auto pay. And then I got a notate, something, an email or something from the credit card company saying that my payment was late on a $7 charge. That's all that go on this account every month just to have activity on it. And because they saw that I never made a payment late, they waived it, the fees and all that, and it didn't show up as a late payment on my credit card. On my credit report. But it's so easy to forget some things, especially if it's something small that you might set up. So if you could set it up on auto pay, that's even better for you. Um, but yes, y'all know what? Y'all know I'll be having a hard time keeping up with the chat. And hey, Mike, and talking at the same time. I'm sorry, because I know I probably missed a lot of stuff. Um, Another thing, I had a friend who, and this was a very close friend of mine, and I heard somebody else talk about that recently. I ain't gonna even put them on the spot because I think they in the chat, but they'll know who they are. She had applied for multiple credit cards at this one point. Somebody told her that the more credit cards she applied for and got, the better it would be for her credit score. I was like, what? No. Every time you apply for any kind of credit and they make a hard inquiry on your credit report, after so many of those, I think after the second one, it starts negatively impacting your credit score. I think even the first one might hit it a couple points, but it's not going to be enough to be like, ouch, when you look at your credit score. But if you go out and you go to Walmart one day, you go to Target the next day, and you go to Macy's or wherever, excuse me, and you apply for a card every one of those places, because they're like, oh, if you apply for a card today, you're going to save $50 on your purchase or whatever. But if you do that you do not want to be applying for that many cards. First of all, you don't need that many cards, but you don't want to be applying for credit card after credit card after credit card or any kind of credit in multiples at one time. That's just not a good look at all. And there's no way a person who does that, especially if you're using all those, is not going to get themselves in trouble credit wise. There's just, to me, there's just no way. I couldn't imagine having that ridiculous amount of credit cards. I really think one is probably just fine for most people, but if you have more than one, I have more than one, but I don't use them like that. Maybe I have three and I might use one on the regular, which is the one that has the $7 come off on it every month. That's just me. I use the other ones every so many months just to make sure that they don't deactivate the card, because you do want to have some type of activity, because if you don't, they'll deactivate it. But so I went over the making your payments on time. That's important for getting your credit score to go up, and just start ticking off those little things that's on there. That's just on there because you did not pay them for whatever reason. You know, no judgment here, because listen, I filed a bankruptcy, so judge whatever. But like, you know, sometimes people just have these little things on there, like a cable bill that's from 1995, or that they keep selling to somebody else, and that new person just keeps reporting it to try to collect on it. Just call them up, settle it out for like 50% of what they want. If it's $100, I got $50 now. I could pay you $50 and be done with this, or you could just leave it there. They're going to take that $50. It's worth it to them because they didn't buy it from the company they got it from for that much. So just call them up and try to work it out to get it off of there. But as you start taking those things off of there that are negative, you're going to see big jumps in that credit score. And I'm sorry, like some people don't think that credit is that important, but it is when you're trying to purchase something. And I think everybody has at one point wanted to buy a car or a house, you know, something that's big, that you don't have a large amount of cash just to go out, excuse me, just to go out and buy, just because you decided that day you wanted to purchase that. You're going to need some assistance from a bank to get it done. So, you know, when you try to do that, that score can make or break if you can afford the payment, because that score is going to dictate what interest rate you have on that loan, what type of bank picks up that loan. If it's a high risk bank that charges 19% interest, or your credit union who might charge you 0% interest because you have a good credit score. So that makes a difference, because if I'm driving next to you and your car payment is $500 because your credit is shot, and because I have good credit, my payment is $200, that'll make you feel some kind of way. It really will. So it's really important to try to have a good credit score if you can, just in case you need to use it. It's not to say you will, but just in case you do, when you need to use that, it don't feel good when they be trying to talk crazy to you with these interest rates, because you're going to pay that interest off top. They get their money first before you start seeing your balance go down for whatever you purchase. No, that ain't for me. And if you make a purchase for something. Like I said, even if it's something you don't owe, say you don't owe any, you don't have any delinquencies, but you have a car that you're paying off and you pay it on time every month, and you have a house that you're paying for and you pay that on time every month. But if you showing that balance go down in larger chunks, that's going to impact positively on your credit score. So if you have a car that you're paying and you could throw an extra $50 every month or $100 every month on that balance, on the principal balance, make sure you're specific with these banks, because I have heard about some of them being shady and try to apply that money a different way. So when you're making additional payments, you be specific in where that money is being applied and tell them that you want it to be applied to the principal balance, because ain't nobody trying to pay no interest out of their hard-earned money when they're making an extra payment. That ain't what that's for. So make sure you're specific in telling them that, especially these mortgage companies, that when you make that additional payment, you want it applied to the principal balance of your loan. But as that money, that amount starts going down, because what's happening is you're benefiting yourself in two ways. One, you're paying down your principal faster, which is going to pay your loan off faster. Two, you are going to get the positive feedback on your credit report, because it's showing that that balance that you owe is less, which means that you are extended less and you have less credit utilization. I will say that your mortgage ain't going to count, because it's $100,000 mortgage, as being a ridiculous amount of credit utilization. That's usually looked at with your, and I shouldn't say credit utilization. It's not really that when it comes to mortgage. It's your debt to income ratio. So that's going to be impacted, not so much the credit utilization, because the credit utilization is impacted with those credit cards. But your debt to income is impacted when you make these larger purchases, because it's going to be based on how much you make to how much you're spending to pay for these things. And if you're paying out for a lot of large items like houses and cars and stuff like that, and your income does not look like you should be able to sustain that, when something else comes up, say something big comes up and you need like a roof, or you need to do the entire heating and cooling for your house, which might cost you 10, 15, 20K, and you need a loan to do that, a home equity or whatever. If you don't look like you could do it because of that debt to income, you might be in some, in a situation that you don't want to be in. So you want to be careful with that too, is making sure that when you are making these purchases, make sure that these purchases are affordable to you. Don't get caught up in the glitz and glam of things like your cars and your houses. I see a lot of people, because if you don't know this, I work in the bankruptcy field, and I see a lot of people purchase things because they are allowed to make purchases even in bankruptcy. It just has to go through approvals to do it. But I see sometimes when I'm seeing what these people are purchasing while in bankruptcy, I'm like, this is why you're here. You're not learning from the mistakes that you made that got you here. Because why do you need a Mercedes, ma'am? I don't understand that. Like, okay. I mean, maybe we want that, but do we need that? Could we get something that's more practical, so that we make sure that we're not going to be feeling some kind of way in a couple years when something might happen in our lives to where this $500-$600 car payment is a lot, which that's a lot to me anyway. I ain't never had no car payment like that. But I know people do. And I know sometimes it's because it's a luxury car or whatever like that. But I think you should be practical. That is awesome, Crafty. I don't know if my husband's is over 8 yet. His is close though. Well, ours are very close. So it's not like I'm that far ahead of him, because I keep an eye on his and mine and my daughter's. I have an adult child, and I keep an eye on hers as well, because I want her to be able to do things that she has to do without trying to look for me to help her, because it ain't happening. Because that's something I ain't going to do. If y'all didn't hear that, if y'all weren't here last week, I do not co-sign. I am not co-signing for anything. I feel like a person should not be co-signing for anything that they don't want to pay for. If you willing to, if it's something that you okay with paying for, then go ahead and co-sign. But if you ain't okay with paying for it, don't put your name on the line, because there's a chance that you're gonna be left with that debt. And if you co-sign for it, it's just as much your debt as it is the person that you co-sign for. Um, I talked to a guy that paid $9 a month for 300. For 300, what is that? $300 credit? What's that? Lydia, did I miss something? 9 a month for 300. What? I must have missed something, because Crafty said that's good, that she would do that. Oh, she said no way I do that. Ain't no way I do that. Okay. Oh, you be like 900. I've seen it. I've seen it, and I agree. No way in the world I do that. No way. But thank you, Crafty. Um, you're going to pay it off sooner. To totally agree. Yes, paying a little extra. Even it's sometimes like mortgage is. A lot of times they'll say if you make a by what is it, by monthly payment. Look, don't ask me because I don't do mine that way. But if you make a payment every other week, so biweekly payments on your mortgage, you'll end up paying one additional mortgage payment a year, which is it helps. But how are you doing it? Because I know some people do that. Are you doing it as just an additional mortgage payment where it just shows that you're paid a month ahead all the time? Or are you having them apply that additional money to the principal, which is more important for you? Because if you're just paying ahead, they're getting their interest. But if you're paying it on the principal balance, that the interest is calculated on whatever that balance is. So every time you make that balance drop, the amount of interest that's calculated is going to drop. So make sure it's being applied to the principal balance. Same thing for your car. If you make additional payments on your car payment, make sure it's being applied to the principal, because every time that principal balance drops, the amount of interest that's calculated is going to drop because it's being calculated on less money owed. So watch that. Because I know it's a lot of people who set up. I used to work in the mortgage industry as well. And they set it up. Hey, cousin. They set it up where it just auto pays the half of whatever their payment is every pay period, so that they get that extra payment in a year. And it's like, yeah, that's good. But that if you ain't applying it to the principal balance, it ain't helping you as much as it's helping them just to get their money, early. So make sure you being specific. I'm telling you. And I said, not. I purposely said specific. But yes, make sure you being specific, because they will apply it in other ways if you are not. And then they'll come back, you'll call them like, you knew what they don't. They ain't gonna read your mind. They just gonna apply those funds. So you want to make sure it's benefiting you. Yeah, Lydia, that's ridiculous. 900 a month? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But I just that ain't me. That ain't me. So you have to tell them where to put the money. You have to tell, yes, that's my cousin. You do. You have to be specific in telling them where the money needs to go, and so that they will. So you are benefiting yourself. And like I said, if you're making additional payments, do that as well. I've had my car and my house are through my car had been paid for, but they were both financed through my credit union. And I think they are more honest, in my opinion, than the banks can be, because they never would apply funds without me if I gave it to them and I didn't say, they would, first thing they would ask is, this is being applied to the principal, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, I meant to say that. But they always make sure where it's going. They always assume principal first. They never try to apply it somewhere else before the principal balance, because who calling to pay something else? I hope nobody. I hope nobody. But yes, definitely you want to do that. So I'm trying to look through the chat to see if I missed anything. Any questions or anything like that? And also, I'm going to drop the link again, just in case anybody wants to come up. And just in case you want to come up because maybe I didn't go over something, or if you want to drop it even in the chat, something that you question when it comes to the credit report. I'm just looking at my notes to see if I forgot to say anything. I talked about the credit mix and resist applying for multiple cards, which is important. Don't be out here with 10 credit cards. It's unnecessary. It is unnecessary. And I might have said this already, but when you do use your credit card, it is very beneficial to pay the full balance rather than paying the minimum amounts, because that will also help your credit score keep jumping every time you use it. So if you go and use it to get gas, if you just want to have activity, and you spend $50 on gas, wait until that bill generates. Don't go and pay it the next day because it's showing up on your credit card. Wait until your credit card company generates the bill. You don't have to wait till the bill is due. So if they generate the bill on the 15th and it's not due until the 28th, on the 16th, you can go, or the 15th, you can go in there and pay it. But you want to wait till the bill generates, because if you pay it before that happens, it does not get reported to the credit bureau. So if you want to get the benefit of it being reported to show I used my card, and then because it's not going to report that you used it until that bill generates. That's when the credit card company reports it. So they'll report, Gina has a balance of $152. Then on the 15th. Then if I go pay it on the 16th, by whenever the due date is, the 28th, probably won't be until then anyway, because I don't pay attention to when they report it. I just know they do. But let's just say the 28th, they go in and they report Gina's balance is now zero because I paid that $152. So that's going to show up with them. And then in turn, most times I get a point or two up on my credit report. Most times. Sometimes it just stays the same. Sometimes it doesn't move, but most times it jumps. Hey, Erica Taylor. I know I probably missed some people too, and I apologize because, like I said, it is hard to follow the chat at the same time that I am talking. So I apologize if I missed you. One second. So I'm trying to read through. Have a good day, Eastad. Okay. I'm going back down. You can build your kids' credit with cards. With what? What is CA, AK? You can build your kids' credit with some cards. With CA. What is CA? I don't know what that is. And I ain't trying to build my child's credit. You talking about the kids, like my god kids? This is my cousin, by the way, y'all. I ain't trying to build Miracle's credit just yet. Um, Up, I got a question. Let's see. If your credit is frozen and you apply for a store credit card for the discount, does it still affect your credit score? Asking for a friend. Anytime you apply for credit, it's going to affect your credit score. But the only thing you're doing by freezing it is I think you're making yourself go through more loops to actually, um, anytime you apply, there's just going to be more security measures to make sure it's you. Because freezing it is just when, usually, as far as I know, most people just freeze it if there's been some kind of fraudulent something that's happened with their credit, and they want to make sure that no one's using it until they get everything resolved. And usually, part of that resolution, it will be you getting a different number that you'll use when you're applying for credit. So, like how I would go and use my social, you would not use a social, it would be a different number. It'd be the same amount of numbers, but it'd be a different type of number that you would use because it's indicating that it's you. Nobody else should have that number, as far as I know, anyway. Like I said, I'm not a guru. But anytime you apply for credit, there's no way around it affecting um, your credit. So, say for instance, you apply for the discount, and then you're like, I'm just getting the discount now, and I'm going to cancel the card um, after I pay, whatever I charge to it. I'm going to cancel it. I just wanted to get the $50 off my purchase. It's still going to impact because you still applied for the credit, and whenever you apply, they run your credit. So that's an inquiry. So it's going to impact it because it's going to be an inquiry. Capital One has no minimum age, but you have to be careful because what you do affects their credit. So I don't know if you could do this or not with kids, but I know you could do this with any adult. You can make anyone an authorized user on your card. Like I said, I don't know how that works for children, but any adult you can do that with. I could do it with my neighbor. I could do it with a coworker. I could do it with a family member. I can make them an authorized user to where they can reap the benefits of my credit standing without giving them an actual credit card. So I can have it to where they're not issued a card, but they reap the benefits of my 818 credit score or whatever it is, whichever credit bureau they pull from. Um, well, actually, it would be from each of them because basically all of my credit bureaus, all three of the major ones, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, are reporting my card. So if I have you as an authorized user on your credit report, it's going to show that card. So if I put you, say, on Capital One, it's going to show Capital One on your credit report as if you have a Capital One credit card. And then your score is going to benefit from the fact that I used my Capital One. And then when the bill generated, I paid my Capital One. I've always paid it on time. I miss no payments. I don't leave a balance on it. You're going to have your credit score bump from my good activity. So I know you could do that with, a teenager more than likely, but I don't know how that works for younger kids. So you might know better than I do about that, AK, because I don't know about that one. I did have an old address impact my credit. I rented a room in a house that foreclosed. I was mad they had nerve to put that on my credit. I found a lot of dumb things like that. Interesting. Now, when you found that, Mike, um, was it just your address that was there, or was it something else with it? Like I said, when I go on my credit report, it shows me and it'll show my address currently, and it shows like previous addresses. But there's no other detail with those previous addresses. I mean, it goes back to the house I grew up in. I mean, all of my addresses show up on there. So I don't know how it's affecting my credit score. Hey, Hudson. So let me know if it said something with that, or if that's all that it said is, I mean, all it was is your address was there, and then you did research to find out there was something that it was, of how it was impacting your credit. None of mine were, my past addresses have been like evictions or anything like that. Hey, Tori. So yeah, let's see. Referrals are after the breach years ago, and it helped me not to be tempted. I can unfreeze it by logging into credit places and unfreeze. Okay. Yeah. But the bottom line is, though, the question of if it is it going to impact it, it is yes. In some way. It may not be like horrible. Like I said, applying for a credit card, it's just going to take a few points off of it. If you have good behavior with that credit card after you've gotten it, you're going to see it go back up within, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 months. It'll just start trickling back up to where it was. I know when I paid off my car, I paid it off extra early than what it was supposed to be, thinking, good, right? Look at me. I paid my car off. I paid it off 2 years before you wanted the money. Look at me. I did it. And you know what happened? My credit score dropped a lot, like almost 30 points. I kid you not. Almost 30 points. I was so mad. I called the credit bureau. I wanted understanding. Like, you're going to have to explain to me how I paid off my car and that negatively impacted my credit score. That's my, that's where I'm kind of torn sometimes when it comes to credit scores, because in order to positively impact your credit score, you have to have credit. It's like it's so dumb to me, because it's like, how come my good credit isn't on the fact that I'm not out here getting credit? But it's not. It's on the fact that you got credit and that you show that you can pay with credit, pay people back, but then you pay people back and you pay people off and it negatively impacts you. That's interesting. So what I found is that in fact happens. So when you have that drop off and you don't have anything else on your credit report that's an installment account, which is what the car was, because I paid it off, I didn't have any other installment accounts. It showed that I didn't have a good mix of credit, because I got rid of my installment account and all I had left was my credit cards. So it dropped my score by a lot. But what I found out later is that that's normal, and that if I just was patient, after a few months, if I just kept doing what I was doing, nothing new, it was going to eventually go back up to where it was, which it did. So I didn't appreciate it, but it did go back up. And also, one thing I have learned is that when I first started trying to get my credit score up, I was following this lady she's on all the platforms of the interwebs. Her name is the Budgetnista, and I was following her method of, that's where I got all these tips from, of how to get my credit score up. I was following her method on how to do that. And I remember like seeing there's on Facebook, she has like this whole community of people who are trying to do that, get their credit, getting their budgets together, get their credit together, all the things. And I would see people like posting praise reports of how they were able to pay off all their debt and, get their credit score up, and their credit score was 8 something. So I was like, I want an 800 credit score. So I made that my goal. It's not necessary, because literally from 750 you're already, once you hit 750 and above, you are perfect credit. So it's almost like getting an A plus in school. You're not going to get an A plus plus. Now, will some places look at that as being like even better? Probably. You're probably going to go some places and they see 800 and they're like, oh yeah, we definitely will extend credit to you. But you're not going to go to that same place, and because you're at 755, they're going to say, well, I don't know, I'm not quite sure about you. They know, because you're already considered to be perfect credit at 750 and above. So just so you know, that 800 was a goal that I set for myself. And honestly, I'm only there on that one credit bureau that I showed you. I'm not there on the other ones, and I don't care at this point because I know it's not necessary. If that one dropped under 800, I wouldn't care either. Let's see. Y'all be going fast up in this chat. My cousin must have been asking about something with the chat. So, AK, if you put frugal, FRUGAL, in the chat, it will drop your link. And if you put joke in the chat, JOKE, Nightbot will tell you a joke. Just in case that's what that was. I just saw Mike saying something as I'm trying to catch up on the chat. To New Day. New Day is my cousin. He must have asked another question because I see TT answering a question about and I don't see I must be going too fast because I'm not seeing your questions, but I'm seeing everybody answer questions for you. In regards, I missed a lot. Is this? Oh yeah, I missed a lot. Is this going to be recorded? It is. It's recording as I speak. So yes, as soon as I end the live, you will be able to go back and replay the live. So yes, you know you could call me. I'm trying to be brand new. But yes, so, and go back and AK, go back and watch last week's too, because I talked about budgeting on that one. So yes, go back and watch that one. I showed my budget, how detailed I get with my budget so that I make sure I don't miss anything, and how I save now, how I save money to make sure I have money for like certain emergencies or just certain things that might come up, so that we okay. So definitely go back and watch that and see how I do all that, how I make sure we be good over here. But that's all I had, guys, for what I do to, or what I did, I shouldn't say do because I don't do anything now, but what I did to improve my credit score. I just paid off those. I started out with my smallest things and I just started I'm going to tell you, there is some type of gratification in eliminating debt, no matter how small it is. So when I was taking care of those small things and they were no longer a thing for me, I wish I still had my planner when I was doing that. This might be it, where I was paying those things off. Yes, there was some gratification in doing that. You probably ain't gonna be able to see it because of the screen I have up behind me. But when I was doing that, I had like had like all these streaming services on here. I had HBO, Hulu, Philo, Audible, Amazon, Disney. I had all these things, Patreon, all these things. I had to really have a come to Jesus moment with myself because they seem so small, all those streaming services, but they add up. And when I was trying to get rid of debt, I didn't need to have those streaming services, not all those. I might maybe have one, just have some type of entertainment, but I didn't need all those. I needed to eliminate those because all those little payments that were adding up maybe was $30, $40 worth of streaming services. I could have been putting that $40 to paying off some debt. Now, when all those debts were paid off, now I do still have, I have gotten back most of those streaming services. I didn't even get all of them back, but I do have some of them now that I had then. But when I had to really have some serious come to Jesus moments with myself of things that, what do I really need? And what things can I let go until I get these things off of my plate? And then I can come back to them again later. Because and with everything, like even with my grocery budget, I remember my grocery budget was on the high end of like $800-900 a month when it was 4 people in my house. And that really is not that necessary. It isn't. I have done a grocery budget as low as, I think the lowest one I did was like, unless I was eating out the pantry, trying to clear out my pantry. But if I was actually just doing a grocery budget, I think the lowest I did was $75 per person. And it was very doable. It was very doable. I just had to plan out our meals. So I would do meal planning, and then I would do my grocery list to do to get the things to stay within my budget. But I was really disciplined when I was trying to get rid of that debt because of that gratification of when I was paying off stuff. That first thing I paid off, those cell phones, there was gratification in not having such a high cell phone bill anymore because those were paid for. And my cell phone bill just went to my cell phone service. That's all I had to pay now. So then it was like, let's get rid of the next thing. Start throwing that money that now I have freed up from my cell phones to add to whatever monthly payment I had to be able to give to the credit card, put that together, and now I have a larger payment, and that's going to be gone faster. Then when that's gone, I was throwing the money at my car. All that extra money going along with the car payment to pay that car off faster. So that's really all I did. Lashes, you cut everything? I don't know if I could do that. Maybe hide them, maybe like put them in a place. But I get it. I get it. If you feel like you can't, if you feel like you can't be trusted with them, you got to do what you got to do. Everyone share this with their financially challenged friends. Listen, AK, don't try to act brand new. We all been financially challenged at some point. I know I have. And we don't get, I honestly just feel like I said last week, a lot of people are not taught this growing up, like how to sit down and do a budget. I wasn't. My mom didn't, my parents, I shouldn't say my mom, my parents didn't sit down with me and say, this is what we do. We sit down and we write down what we need to pay. This is what we're bringing into the house. None of that. I just went out into this world and figured it out. And you know how I figured it out? Through mistakes. And I knew I didn't want my oldest to figure it out that way. So instead of her having to figure out through mistakes, I taught her what I had learned from my mistakes so that she had the ability not to make the same mistakes. If she still made them, that was on her, but she was given the tools. So I just try to share what I learned so that somebody else can share with somebody else and somebody else can share with somebody else. And we all can be out here winning because we need that. We need that. I missed something. I saw something. Let's say my groceries are almost $500 a month, but that includes dog food. Chewy on that old folks diet. You're terrible. I don't think that's too bad. You have you, your husband, and your daughter. That's 3 people in the house plus 2 dogs. That I don't think 500 is bad. Mine right now is 4. I don't need it at 4, but I have it at 4 just because. But I don't think that's bad. And there's only 3 people in my house. So, and I don't have any pets. So I don't think that's bad. Kodak needs caviar champagne. Mona, it's just you. 500 does seem like a lot probably for you. Well, actually, is it just you in your house? I just assumed that. Lasha says she can't be trusted with a credit card. Mm-mm. Let's see. Mm. Yeah, she did tell us her story, Crafty. That's why I said I would go put her on blast because she was telling us about her credit cards. But I get it. I've been there. My first credit cards when I was 18. Yeah, I'm not even exaggerating. I maxed them out like no sooner than I could get them from the mailbox. I went shopping. They gave me those credit cards and I went shopping and they were maxed out and they wasn't even that much. They were like $300 balances. I had two of them and they were maxed. And how was I going to pay them people back? They didn't tell me all that. They just gave me the money and I was like, what? They gave me this money? Girl, let's go shopping. Yeah. And I know there's a lot of 18-year-olds out there doing that, especially those 18-year-olds on these college campuses, because they got booths all over that campus for them to sign up for them credit cards. And how many of those college students have jobs? Not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. So yeah, yes. But it was like free money for me. I went shopping. And honestly, even after that, and I did end up getting that taken care of, getting those taken care of. It took a by the time I got to paying those people back for that money that I spent, I probably paid them three times over what that credit card balance was because I was making these increment of payments. So it was that the balance just never seemed like it was really moving. But even after that, and I took care of that and then was older and got credit cards again, I had got myself at a point where I felt like I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. I was using one credit card to, okay, I got this much on this card. I'm gonna go ahead and use that to pay my electric bill. And then the money I have for the electric bill, I'm gonna use that to pay to this other credit card. So then it'll have some money on it. And then I'm gonna use that money to pay the gas bill. I kid you not. That was me. That was me. And then when I finally got serious about wanting to get my stuff together, I had to realize that's not the way you supposed to. First of all, that's not how you use credit cards, which nobody ever told me. So first of all, you're doing this wrong. And second of all, you might not need those right now. So for a while, I did like Lashes did. I didn't cut them. I did cut one, I think, but I didn't cut them. I just did not. I wouldn't even carry them. I didn't use them. Nothing. And I just wanted them. I just wanted to paid off. And when I finally what I did is that's when I started using cash for everything. I was like, if I don't have the cash, I can't have it. So I started doing the envelopes. And when I started doing envelopes, I just had the mail envelopes, the white letter envelopes, like you mail somebody a letter. I would have those and I would put, like, I would go to the ATM and I would get my grocery budget money out and I would put it in the envelope. And then when I went to the store, I had my envelope. I usually had, because I was couponing a little bit back then. So I would have some coupons in there and I go to the grocery store and I have my list and my envelope, and my coupons, and I would get what I need to get. And if that money had to go for those things. So those little items that they put in the grocery store, like that's gonna catch your attention, like the latest greatest cereal or the new Oreo cookies or some new juice or whatever. I was like, I got these things are on my list, so I have to get them because they're in my meal plan for the month. And after I get those things, if I have some money left over, then I might be able to go back and get that cereal or those cookies or that juice. But until then, that's all I got. And most times I didn't go back and get it. You wanna know why? Because I didn't want my money to be zero. I didn't like to see zero in my envelopes. I didn't like to have nothing in there. So sometimes I would just like, no, I don't need it. I'm walking out the store. because I didn't like to see that. So cash made me spend less. It made me spend less. Yes, lashes, cash is best. Because let me tell you, when I swipe, that was another thing. That's another reason why it wasn't even just credit cards. My bank card, just swiping because I knew money was in there. And you think that you budgeted and you're like, oh, I did my budget. I should have $500 left after all my bills get paid. We good. After the bills, the grocery money, all that, we got 500 sitting in there. We can, we could do something. And then you realize, you go and look again and you like, wait a minute, now I only got $150. What the heck happened? Well, you've been working for every day for the 5 days out the week, and you done went out to eat with your coworkers every one of those days. And then on your way home, you was like, you know what? I don't feel like cooking today. Even though you got groceries because you had a grocery budget, I don't feel like cooking today. I think I'm gonna stop and get pizza on the way home. You know what? Next day, I'm kind of tired. I don't really feel like cooking today. I think I'm gonna just stop and get us some McDonald's, whatever it might be. And then next thing you know, you done swiped, that $500 gone. But if you got to spend cash to do it, you know what? You're gonna be like, I budgeted for the month $100 for us to eat out. And if I try to be doing this every day, we ain't gonna have that. So eating out wasn't a thing. I have very minimum days that I don't feel like. I have a lot of days I don't feel like cooking. Let me say that right. I have a lot of days I don't feel like cooking, but it's gonna happen anyway because I don't want to spend the cash. Mm-mm. What did I miss? What you say? I started that this week. Cash only, no cards. She did. Yes. And she has been stingy too. It's so funny because I was the same way. I'm not a cash carrying person. I wasn't either, Crafty. Um, I like those cashback rewards. I do too. I just use it on my bigger purchases. So my now if I'm going to be doing with my grocery budget, if I know I'm going to be going to Sam's or Costco because I have a membership for both of those, then I will use the card to get the perks. But I'll just, like I said, I'll it'll be part of my grocery money. So that money is going to be in the account to pay the bill when it comes. But I carry cash for a lot of stuff. I do for a lot of stuff. When I go get my nails done and my feet done, that lady get paid with cash. We ain't swiping no cards. Swiper, no swiping. Mm-mm. I carry my cards with me though. I don't have to leave them at home because I just don't swipe them. But they get in cash because that way I know I'm going to stay in budget. But I didn't used to be. Now, the only thing I absolutely will not carry cash for is gas because I don't like going inside. I want to pay at the pump. I don't want to, no. I did the cash thing with gas for like maybe 6 or 7 months. And I wore myself out with that real quick. Going inside, dealing with people's attitudes, dealing with a line with people buying lottery tickets. But all I want to do is pay for I just was like, look, we can't do this. It's going to be card for the gas. So, yeah. But, what'd you say? Oh, that sound like you. See you later, Hudson. What's up, Black Guns and Garden? Hey, Miss Shirley, OG Gardner. But yeah, guys, let me see if there's anything I don't like hearing cash. I know most people don't, but when I tell you you're gonna spend less when you have it, and you know that's what you're spending from, you will spend less. Because if I go into the store with a card and I like even just my bank card, and I know I budgeted $400 for groceries, I don't care what I don't. It's money in the account. I don't care that I budgeted 400. If it comes to 480, I'm like, well, I wanted those things. But if I have 400 in cash, and I'm telling myself there's no more, so you're not swiping no card, I got to keep myself within that 400. Period. You do pay more out in interest only if you don't pay it in full, though, AK. So if you pay it off, I don't pay any interest on my credit cards because I pay my cards right after the bill generate. I have my phone set up to where, because I have the apps. So as soon as my bill generate, they send me a message that tells me my bill is ready. When I get that message that my bill is ready, I click on there and I pay my bill. Literally. Except for my one bill. The only one I don't do that with is the one that's on auto pay that gets that $7 charge for it's some Microsoft something I got on there. I don't even know what it is, honestly. I know it is something for my computer, but I can't remember what it was. But it comes off. I mean, it pays it auto. I've only spent one I need this weekend. Yes, no Starbucks. Starbucks will get you because Starbucks is not cheap. Although I do like the refreshers. I don't like their coffee. Yes, that's what I do, Crafty. I don't pay no interest. That ain't about to happen. The old me did because I didn't know what I know now. But me now, no ma'am. Mm-mm. No interest. And I don't care what it is, but I do my big purchases absolutely on my card. I got appliances last year, I think it was. Yeah, last year. I did all those on my card. I wanted all that. Give me all that cash back. Give me all that. Anytime I need to make a big purchase, so tires and not just big purchase. Don't get me wrong. I do it on the small stuff too, but it's not like always. I don't. I know some people do that, and that's is it works for them. I know some people who they pay everything that they can on credit card, and they still, when they get their credit card bill, that bill is paid in full because it's still their same bills. They're just getting back the perks. So they might be getting the air miles and the travel miles, I guess you could call it, and then the cashback and stuff like that. And that's great. That's great. You know what? I'm not sure, Lydia. Even if I do, I might just be on here chatting. We might just chat about anything. We might not be chatting about money. I don't know. Y'all tell me. You know what? We might just come in here and chat, and then if it comes, we talk about money. We do. We can talk about gardening because that's my thing too. And I'm gonna be tomorrow. My plan is to get. I don't know if y'all saw the video I did. Look at me. The video I did for the August garden tour, and there was stuff in places, and I was like, yeah, I'm cleaning up the garden, yada yada. I did get some of it up, but I didn't clean up all that stuff. So I need to get out there. It's every time I go out there, I'm like, you need to do this. You need to get this garden cleaned up. So I do plan on doing that. And I also plan on my tomatoes are pretty much done because I did the pasting tomatoes, so they're determinate, and most of them are done. So I'm planning on pulling up a lot of those plants if I can, and get that bed together because I want to use that bed for my broccoli for my fall garden. I already have broccoli growing in my office under grow lights, so I want to get it outside because in Ohio, it's been pretty nice temperatures here, so it has not been that hot. It's definitely broccoli growable weather. So, and my collards have been doing crazy out there, although I'm putting more collards out there. So we can talk about anything. So yeah, I may come on next week, and like I said, we could talk about whatever. Whatever. Oh yeah, and I was going to tell you guys that I don't know if you follow Garden State Gardener. I was kind of hoping he was going to pop up today, but the Garden State Gardener is going to feature my channel. He's also going to be featuring TT's Urban Garden, and he's also going to be featuring the everyday life of an OCD-ish chick on his channel on Sunday Fun Day. And if you've never been to his Sunday Fun Day, he gives away stuff like for, I don't know how long he be live giving away stuff on Sunday. a couple hours. I've never been able to stick in the live the whole time. It'd be so long. But he definitely um be giving away all kinds of stuff. So even if you check him out just for that, go check his channel out. Like I said, he has Sunday Fun Day. He just gives away, has giveaway all day, the whole time. Thank you, TT, for dropping the link. 2 hours at least. I know. I was in there one time and TT won and she was not in there. And I'm trying to reach her and tell her she won. And I saw somebody else in the community, in the gardening community, who won. And he wasn't in there. And I'm trying to reach out to him like, where y'all at? Come get your prizes. Because I will say this, if you win and you're not in there, I think he only gives you like 15 minutes to claim. And then it goes to the next person. So you got to be in there to win it. But yes, he be giving away. And Miss Shirley, my husband is doing, he's doing fine. We haven't gotten any updates yet. He doesn't go back for another echo until October. So we won't know how the medicine has been doing until then. But other than that, he's fine. He's been okay. He just had an appointment yesterday and he hasn't gotten any negative feedback from the doctor. So I guess he's doing good. So yeah, on the outside he looks like nothing's wrong. Let's just say that it's just something that's happening inside of the body that it's got to get worked on. So yes. Are you asking Lydia, are you asking TT who's 2 hours at least? She's not talking about me. She was talking about Garden State Gardener, that his lives run at least 2 hours. I know. He saw me in somebody else's live a couple days ago, my Renaissance grandma, and told me that. And by the way, I wish I had it in front of me. I do have my soaps in front of me though. And this smells so good. My Renaissance grandma has an Etsy shop, and I ordered her seasonings. She has a lot of salt-free seasonings and low sodium seasonings. And because my husband has a low sodium diet, I wanted to try her seasonings. When I tell y'all, I don't use anything else right now. It is so good. I really, really like it. So I have 4 containers. I look because I have a stand in front of me where they're at. But I have 4 of her containers of her salt-free seasoning. And then I also have the low sodium, and I have one that she has that is called, I think it's called Hot Cha-Cha. I was going to say it's a hot, but it's got like pepper flakes in it, hot peppers. Thank you, TT. She be on it. And then I also have the one that she has for collard greens, a seasoning that's salt-free. So y'all check her out. But she also does like soaps, and I want to say facial creams. I don't know if there's a body cream as well. You have to tell us that. My Renaissance grandma, because I saw several things on your site. But with my order, I got a free bar soap. And because I ordered, the first time I ordered, I just ordered one of the salt-free, one, the low sodium, the Cha-Cha, and the collard green one. And I got this bar soap. But then I liked the salt-free one so much, I ordered 3 more bottles so I would not run out. And I got another bar soap. So this bar soap is called Pepper Me Bar. And y'all, listen, it smells so good. And this one is called One Night Only. And it smells good too. So check her out. Check her out for the body things and the seasonings. But those seasonings came in clutch because I was using like the Mrs. Dash. Yes, body cream. Okay. I was using like the Mrs. Dash and stuff. And don't get me wrong, they're okay, but they ain't my Renaissance grandma. They ain't my Renaissance grandma. Check it out. Yes, it is, Mona. That's right. Mona got some of the soap. And So does Lydia. But yes, I know Lydia. Okay, dropper. Yes, I didn't get the barbecue one. That's the only one I did not get. But I got all the. That's the other seasoning she has is I think it's salt free as well, the barbecue one. But that's the only one I didn't get. I got everything else, and I have multiples of the salt free. It is good. So, and I do add salt to my meals. But the reason I like the salt free seasoning is because that way I know how much salt is being added to the meals when I make them. So, yes. Um, yes, the Whoop Whoop Show on Monday, and it's going to have my Renaissance grandma on there. Yes, she was supposed to be on there this past Monday, and there was some technical difficulties, so she is going to be on there this coming Monday, which is what's today? 26, 27, 28, 29. On Monday the 29th on the Whoop Whoop Show. Hey, Audrey. So make sure y'all check that out. And tonight, are you doing the show tonight, Lydia? Before I drop it, I did see it. I thought in my lineup that you was going live tonight, but you let me. She is going live tonight. She's doing Lydia's Got Game tonight, which y'all know that if don't nobody if people be because y'all be trying to be scared to come up and play the games. Sometimes I have to come up and play the games. So make sure y'all check out Lydia's Got Game tonight. But definitely make sure you check out the Whoop Whoop Show because I know for a fact they're going to be talking about my Renaissance Grandma seasonings and soaps and body creams and stuff on that show. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. Seriously. You know what, TT? You didn't comment that you was from YouTube. You, I thought I told you to make sure you did that I did when I did my live. So she know you part of the family. So you make sure you. I don't know if you saw that, TT. My Renaissance grandma said to email her because she didn't know your government name, girl. Your government name. So, so make sure you do that. Yes. So make sure y'all check out. Like I said, Lydia's Got Game tonight. Who else is? Somebody else is going live here in a bit. Let me see. But Lydia's Got Game will be on at what 9, Lydia? I think. Let's see. And y'all make sure y'all dropping y'all links in the chat. Crafty has a great channel. TT, of course, TT gonna be live tomorrow night canning. I'll probably be on there with her. She is canning tomatoes tomorrow, so like crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes, stuff like that. It's a water bath canning, so those don't take as long as the pressure canning. Did I see somebody say Black's Tropical? Are they in here? Is Sherry in here? If she is, hey Sherry. Because I didn't see Black's Tropical come in here, but I just saw somebody comment it. Oh, Black's Tropical is going live tonight. Mike was saying, look, sorry. I was going to say, hey. Yes, Black's Tropical. They are going live. They're going to be announcing, I guess, the dates and everything for the 2023 Soil Family Expo. So if you planning on possibly going to that, you better pop into that live because that's going to be important information. If y'all saw any of the videos from last year, I definitely felt like I missed out because they looked like they were having a ball. So Black's Tropical going live at 7, and then the Lydia's Got Game at 9. Did you confirm that, Lydia? Did I miss that? Where are you at? Did you confirm that? I don't see it. I don't think you did. Confirm 9 o'clock for Lydia's Got Game. Yes. Thank you, Crafty, for dropping Frugal for your link to drop. See you later, AK. I'm sure you'll call me. Hey, GT, you don't miss the live, but you can catch the replay. Who said no? Lydia. But make sure you drop your channel. GT, drop Frugal in the chat. That's right. My cousin's birthday was the other day. Go celebrate. Enjoy. Did I miss her say that? I'm confused. Oh, so she's not. Okay. Okay. I see what you said, Lydia. Okay. That's understandable. Okay. It's all good. So we don't have Lydia's Got Game tonight, but we got Black's Tropical at 7. See what they're talking about for the Soil Family Expo. And I think they said they having a giveaway. Y'all know when they be giving away, you got to be in there to see what they giving away. Yes. Announcement and giveaway. And why does it say? No, that's on 9/1. That's not today. Hold on, y'all. They doing that on 9/1. So are they going live tonight? Are y'all sure? Yeah, they're going live tonight. Don't go over there looking for information about the Soil Family Expo. That's not until September 1. See, they need to not notify me this early about that because that was the first thing that came up. I had to scroll down to find tonight's live, and they're going to be talking about growing and raising your own groceries. And y'all know they doing that. They growing everything over there, and they're raising pigs and rabbits. They got chickens too. Chickens, pigs, rabbits. So yeah. Hey, badass thing. And Cassandra, I see you, girl. While y'all in here, go ahead and drop your channel links. If you type Frugal, FRUGAL in the chat, it'll drop your link. So make sure you drop your link before you get out of here. It's all good, GT. You know, you could catch it on the replay. It's all good. I'm going to watch. Yes, it's all good, Audrey. You can catch the replay too. I will tell you this. I a lot of times do not get the notification for a lot of guys when they go live. It irritates my soul because I don't understand what's within the algorithm that makes that happen to where I don't, some people's pop up for me and some people's don't. I mean, I could literally search through the lives. Like I could go on YouTube and click on the button at the top that says live to see who all is live, and you still won't show up for me. Certain people will still not show up as being live. And I will find out maybe later on or the next day that somebody will be talking about it. And I'm like, what they talking about? I was just looking for people's lives. And I'll go, and sure enough, they would have been live. And it will still show that I'm following that person and I'm supposed to be getting notifications, but yet I don't. So I don't understand how that works. I really don't. Did you drop your I saw Badass did you drop your channel link, Cassandra? And Audrey, did you drop yours as well? I know you've been in here a while, so you probably did. I just want to make sure everybody drops their channel link. But yes. What did Nightbot say? Why you say you're not here to start no trouble? Did you put in joke? Chances are, if you've seen one shopping center, you've seen them all. That's not it. But he do be saying some stuff, and that's why you don't want to show. I know why you said that. Never mind. Never mind. I remember. I remember. I got my mind set up where it's not gonna give you no problems today, badass. It's not. I got mine set up that way, and I think that Urban fixed hers, so you good. You good. Right. And David Corey, I don't think I saw David today, but I don't know if y'all know this, but David Corey, he talks, hey Cottonwood Ranch, he talks in all caps. So he's not yelling at anybody or nothing. That's just how he types all his messages in the chat. And Urban must have had her set up where the caps would put you in timeout, and he was in timeout like pretty much her whole show. That is so funny. What that say? Two muffins were sitting in the oven, and the first looks over to the second and says, "Man, it's really hot in here." The second looks over to the first with a surprised look. Wait a minute. Oh, that was it? I don't get it. Or is there supposed to be more? I don't know. I don't get it. Second looks over at the first. Maybe I'm slow. That's what I'm like. I'm like, did it finish? Is that it? Is that the punchline? Okay, so I'm not the only one that didn't get it. I'm like, maybe I'm like, I'm like, maybe I'm slow. Because I did not get it. Yes. Y'all make sure y'all check out Miss Shirley, the OG Gardner. She been going live here on the regular weekly. I see you, Miss Shirley. Mm-mm. It was like this joke got too long, I guess. Nightbot got exhausted trying to tell it. But yes, y'all make sure y'all check out everybody. Even if you don't subscribe to the channels, just check out everybody. Everybody who's in the chat has good content. So make sure you're just checking out everybody. A lot of the people on here, Crafty, even she did her first live. Was that like a week ago, Crafty? So she's been live, but she has good content. Lashes goes live on a regular. She just pops up when sometimes she'll decide to go live. And Lashes is over there dropping the knowledge on the property. Her and her husband, they are investors in property, so they have several properties that they use as a income base because they're able to rent the space and bring in income. That's the goal. Like the goal of being debt free and getting that credit score up is not just to be able to say, "Oh, I got a good credit score." It's to use that benefit of having a good credit score to get into some way of investing and creating yourself some generational wealth. So whatever that way that might be, if it might be investing in properties or putting the money into the market or whatever that might be for you, or starting a small business, having money to do a startup business, whatever that might be for you, trust me, it's going to be easier if you have good credit. And yes, business credit is different than the credit that you have on your credit score, but you'll be able to work all that out better when you're starting already with good footing. So remember that. See, I saw the first one. I didn't catch it live though. I saw it on the replay. Crafty, when you were live, and she was live for a good time. I watched the whole thing. It was a good live. But I remembered you saying it was your first one. Yep, I told you YouTube be playing you. She did do it on her birthday. I remember that. Yes. And Crafty, I think we like um around the same age. And I was like, is Crafty about to have another little one? And I was like, girl, more power to you. That would be, I would be traumatized for a little bit. But yeah, but I know it's all good. But yeah, and she did like a in her life she did a what am I thinking? Like a mail. She has some mail that she had gotten from a couple people, so she did an unboxing. That's what I was thinking of. An unboxing. Yes. Please share. Thank you, TT. Who 2 years younger than me? UGT? Or are you talking about Crafty? How old you think I am? Y'all know how old I am. I'm just over 20. Something. Mm-mm. I know that's right. It's all good, girl, because my two are 12 years apart, so there's that. And my youngest is still she's only 13. Nope. But who told you that? Where'd you get that from? GT? I wasn't, but I was born close to that. I was born in 77. So yeah, she's probably 2 years younger than me. 20 plus, Miss Shirley. It's plus something. It's plus 25. 20 plus 25. uh-uh. But yes. Uh-oh, what I miss? I just said 20 something. But I like your number, Mike, because I figured that you would probably, that's a good guess. Oh, so she's a year younger than me. That's it. Oh, you're a year younger than me, GT. Okay. Calling me old. Yes. You're so crazy, Legend. It is that though. That's true. They do come with a little bit of benefit. And then they're cute. I'm a baby person. So if it wasn't for how expensive children are, having children and stuff, I would have way more. Because I love the babies. So I now have to love them through my grandson, and my daughter is like, she ain't feeling having more children, and I would love more grandchildren. But she's like, no. Oh, badass, you coming up. Birthday coming up. Oh, yeah, got one coming up. Miss Shirley, my son is 52. That's all right, Miss Shirley. I guess we would be babies though, because is that your youngest child? Maybe your youngest child is our age. But that's why you the OG. That's why you're the OG on here. And that's why we come to you for that knowledge. Because we ain't spilling that much knowledge. We just really on here trying to learn when we in this gardening game. I know I am. Shoot. In 70. That's when my brother was born, my older brother. I was 7 years between me and him. And then my husband was born in 69. So there's 8 years between me and him. So I could always feel young in my house because he's an old man. Older and older. Right. Right. She don't look like she has a 52-year-old. If I had to guess, I would have said Miss Shirley was 52. I ain't gonna lie. And that's serious. I'm not even being funny. I would definitely said Miss Shirley might be in her early 50s if somebody was to ask me and I was trying to guess. Just saying. What did she say? Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this up because the blacks are about to go. Um, live. And if you don't know who the Blacks are, it's Blacks Tropical Homestead, and that's what they are, also known as. So it was not it was not derogatory. That's all right, Miss Shirley. That is all right. That's 70 plus blessed years. Amen to that. And my goal is to get there and then some. So yes, I aspire. I look, Mike, I'm with you. I would have guessed. I would have said if I was guessing, I would have said maybe. Ain't it though? Hair, nails, everything. Miss Shirley ain't out here playing with y'all. Lydia, she ain't out here playing with y'all. She like y'all young girls better step your games up. That's what you better do. We getting there. When we grow up, we try to grow up. You're welcome, TT. So I'm gonna get out of here so we can head over to Black's Tropical. I hope to see all of y'all over there. I'm sure I'll see most of you over there anyway. And maybe we'll, like I said, if I come on next week, we'll just chat it up. Whatever you want to talk about, I'll drop the link. Anybody want to just come up and we just chat? Um, we talk about wherever it takes us. How about that? So I will talk to you guys around these YouTube streets. Y'all know I'm gonna see you. So talk to you later. All right, y'all. See you over at Black's Tropical. All right. Bye.